Geraldine, welcome.
Hello.
Thank you very much for coming today, and thank you for the very detailed analysis you've given us, which ladies tend to do and men tend not to do, which is interesting. Tell us about the deal you have on offer today for us, please.
It's a HMO. It's currently running as a HMO, and it really does need to be brought up to scratch. It's really not in a good state of repairs. The actual place that it is right close to the town centre, so you can actually walk into the town centre. Equally, it's got really good facilities, train facilities even to get into London, so it's probably about a 30-minute train ride into London. What I would really like to do to it is actually bring it up to date, put some professional people in there and make it a really nice professional property.
Okay, so tell me some of the figures.
I managed to actually secure it for 255.
Yep.
It's looking at, I had 3 estate agents look at it, and they sort of said if you really do it up, and you can probably get 325 for it.
Which town are we talking about?
High Wycombe.
Well, you're lucky today because you've got probably 3 HMO experts on the panel here.
Excellent.
I'm not one of them. But
He keeps reminding us, but wants to get back into them.
But
of
I'm
course.
starting to get tempted back after 35 years. So
Hammered with all the HMO deals.
exactly. So Michelle, what are your thoughts?
Hi Geraldine, what investment do you want?
I would like 100% investment if that's possible.
Okay.
And I'm actually looking to give 50%. And what I'd ideally like it to give an income, so that's a starting block for me. I have done various property investments before. My first property that I bought was when I was 18, and I actually did it under a shared ownership scheme.
So is this your main job?
Yes, it is.
You don't work anywhere else?
I have a company called The Food Nutritionist. That's what I've always run. I've been running that for about the last 10 years. But slowly I found that it wasn't going to bring me in the income that I required. And so I'm moving over more into property. I thought it was basically me saying, right, what else can I do? And this was really what sung to me. So yeah.
Come and join us. It's a great community. Great
No, I
community.
absolutely love it. I don't think there's enough females in it.
Well, I think you're absolutely. Do you know what? I agree entirely with that. And when we go to these drinks do's and there's hardly any ladies there, I'm disappointed.
So just going over your refurb costs there, what are those roughly?
Roughly about 30,000. So what I did was I got a few builders round. To make it more appealing, there's a few of the old where the chimney breasts were. And I thought it would be beneficial just to take those out. That way, when you walk into the room, you've got lots more room.
Chimney breasts are expensive to take out, having said that.
The quote I roughly looked at about £1,000.
Okay.
What's it rented out for now?
About 360 a room.
So does the 550 include bills?
Yes, it includes bills.
You mentioned the area lending itself to HMOs.
I think because there are certain pockets in High Wycombe where there is a student vibe there. There's also the hospital's also there, and some of these houses are quite large, quite big, and they just lend itself to it. And in those areas, like for instance, this is actually on quite a busy road, so you find a lot of families don't necessarily want to live there.
Have you thought about using leverage or bank finance to buy the property in the first instance?
What you're asking at the moment is for 300 grand.
Yeah.
And the return is, you're saying it's worth 325, so 300 grand invested for 25 grand return, which then has to be shared.
Yeah.
So you want me to give you 300 grand and I get £12,500 back.
Yeah.
It's not that attractive. So what might make it attractive is where Sandeep's going, is if you could leverage up with senior debt, 60%, 65, 70% of the initial cost, and we put in the equity portion, that makes the amount invested substantially less and therefore potentially more attractive.
On your figures, so you said that 550 is inclusive of bills.
Yeah, that's right.
So you would be covering the bills.
Yeah,
and
so
the
if you look at the
expenses.
second sheet, there's a breakdown.
I don't think you're lifting the value up enough on this personally, but it's a good way to, and actually I echo the sentiment that's come earlier. I don't know if you really need to use us, to be honest. If you were to refinance and get some deposit from your own home and get a normal mortgage, actually you keep 100% of the profit.
Right, okay.
I found from HMOs that the sort of 4-bed is just about marginal, whether it works. As soon as you go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, is all the profit.
And I would definitely agree with that. That 6
Yeah.
is the magic number.
Could you do some sort of, I mean, is it a terraced or semi-detached? Could you extension to make an extra couple
You
of bedrooms?
can extend. There's a lot of room to extend there.
So is it worth looking at another project where you spend more to do that, but actually you then get a much higher revenue from it?
This one I quite liked because you can extend out the back.
Super. Thank you very much indeed. I like her very much. She's a very nice lady, and I think she's very bright, and I think she will get it right, but I'm not sure this is the right one.
If you go through her costings, I think she's got all of the running costs. They're incorrect. So she's got council tax at £80 a month.
I wish mine was.
Yeah, wish mine was. That's significantly lower than it should be. She hasn't got gardening costs on there, which you need to have as a HMO. So I think she is a lovely, lovely lady. I think she's come in very, very well prepared. You can tell that she's inexperienced, which I'm not going to hold against her.
No, nothing wrong with that.
Gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, we've all got to start somewhere. But I just think there's absolutely no money in it. The estate agent would have overvalued the exit valuation. I just genuinely think that she needs to be taking your advice and going for a 6-bedroom HMO.
Sometimes if it's someone's first HMO deal, you know, you don't know what return they're happy with. Might not be good enough for us.
But
a nice
four rooms, you know, come on. And you've got to start off with at least 6 and get going, otherwise you're going to be at it forever, aren't you?
Yeah.
You really are.
But it's good to dip your toe in the woods sometimes.
Yeah, it is, but you dip and toe at 6 or you know, bring us a property that needs doing up. You're paying 150 for it, you're spending 40 on it, it's worth 250, 270 when it's done.
Yeah.
You know, bring something to us.
She's not adding
that
much
we
value,
can-
is she, really?
No, she's not.
A really nice bog standard deal. It's something that you do on your own.
I mean, the trouble is, it's running as an HMO now, and it's not hugely successful. So, where's the leap to?
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
okay,
the
we can-
360 to
we can make it look
550,
nice,
yeah.
I was just
but-
spending a lot of money for not a big uplift in rent, given she's going to pay the bills.
But surely the advice we give her is to go back and buy it 40 grand cheaper.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to buy it, but you've got to buy them at the right money.
And leverage her own finance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, Geraldine, thank you for coming back in.
I think this one is too small for me, I'm afraid. As I said, I think the 4 beds is the kind of cut-off for being profitable at all. I think you need a bigger one, 5, 6 bed, well, probably 6 or above if you want to get into some planning applications. But 6 is a nice, safe bet that's profitable. You've got a good couple of rooms, clear profit there. So for that reason, I won't be investing. But thank you for coming in.
Michelle?
On your running costs, they are a little bit too low.
Right. Okay.
So when I say a little bit, I mean quite a lot. So the council tax you've got in at £80 a month, but it is significantly higher than that. Plus, also, you haven't got any gardening costs in there. So with a HMO, you need gardening, you need cleaning. I think cleaning actually, you've got £100 per month. I would say it's going to be slightly more than that. I think you will really make a success of yourself, but my advice has got to be just look into things with a bit more detail.
Okay.
But it's not something that I'll invest in.
Similar, I don't think there's enough return. You know, I think you've done a great job coming presenting. You come across very well. And once you've got a few deals under your belt, you'd be really quite investable, I think. But as I said earlier, I don't think you're giving enough uplift in value to this. You're not adding enough value to it. And as a 4-bed, there's not enough margin in it. If you wanted to maybe do it yourself, using your money just to kind of try it. It's not going to be a great deal, but at least a deal, and you'd learn a lot by doing that. Unless you can add some rooms to it, I don't think there's much scope there for me personally, so I'm not going to be investing.
As Simon said, that there's ways you can do it yourself and it would work. But to have other people invest with you, there's just not enough of an uplift in there to be of interest.
Do you know the problem with the deal?
I think when I got here, I kind of started thinking it's too small and I should have had the other deal that I was.
Problem with any deal that doesn't work is that you're paying too much for it in the first place.
Yeah, that's true.
So you need to go back, offer them 40,000 less. Don't be embarrassed by doing so. Offer them 40 grand less. See what they say. If you can get it for 30, 40,000 less, it'll stack up for you. You need to fund your own house up a bit, put the money into that and get cracking.
Yeah, brilliant. Sounds
All right.
good to me.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
I'm a bit gutted with the way it went because I really was hoping to come here get a deal, but I have received so much feedback from it. I think that's the main thing. I guess that I kind of had in my mind that the fact that it would be a long-term investment and that they would be taking an income out of it would work, but actually it wasn't really going to work for them. So I really think that I've got to come back with a really big and sparkly and all sort of lights blazing property so that they really want to invest.